All right, Shea Butter Chanel is back. Now, remember the post I made about education and the intentionality or lack thereof to present and incorporate it as the path to higher education seems to still be at a lack for boys, especially black men. Listen, let me tell you what happened. About 2 weeks ago, I enrolled a young man in school. He enrolled on his own. I found out that he lives with his mama. So after he enrolled, he kind of ghosted. He was MIA, wasn't picking up the phone for nothing. And when he would get on the phone, when I would call, it must be that they got a landline. The mother would answer and she would give me the whole rundown. Who is this? Same lady from the school. And what you want? It took a minute. Then she'll finally put him on the phone and then he would rush me off. I said, what is going on? Like, okay. And she was not the first parent, particularly mother, to do this. This is what I mean. Finally, last week, got him on the phone and had a heart to heart. I said, what's going on? He said, ma'am, my mom would prefer that I get a job instead of going to school. I said, I understand. It's all hands on deck in your household. I said, but maybe there's a better way to frame this. It's not either or. Maybe it's both and. Maybe it's, how do I have a conversation with my mom and say, I will work while I go to school. He said, no, that's not what she wants. She wants me to get a job. She doesn't want me in school. I wish I was making this up, but I'm not. I hadn't had a student situation like that in a little while, but it has happened. And I say, my goodness, now I know stuff is tight and everything, and there's other things you can guesstimate about this woman being, sounds like she might be I don't know, single parent, and the dynamic is very interesting. Like, there might be some things going on in terms of, that's another conversation, how women will make their sons into their mini husbands. I really hate it. I can't stand it. I know people personally that go through that stuff, and that's just like bewildering. So nevertheless, but as it pertains to a mother telling her son, no, you gotta get a job, don't go to school. And I'm like, my goodness, what? So her purview about the importance of education, if the parent don't think it's important, then the student is not gonna think it's important, particularly the young men. And so they see themselves as being the workhorse, and or this is what works for us now. This is what I gotta do. And it's just sad. It's sad. I just thought I would share a real life example that just came to my recollection to share with y'all. It be happening. And I bet y'all gonna be like, no, we got all the HBCUs, you got your Morehouses. There is a very large segment within the Black community that the brothers are headed to college. That is. And then there's still a whole other segment that ain't there. And that's the thing that bothers me, because the plight, if you will, or the future within our community doesn't get better just because a chosen few go. It has to be a majority of the Black men go to school, right? Because we need all of them to have the education and the options, the increased options, to be able to provide for themselves, because they will be somebody's husband or dad, and the cycle keep repeating, right? And they need to adjust for the climate that we're in if they don't want to be somebody's workhorse or all that, because that's just the reality of it. They just don't have it, right? But you're welcome. Comment below.